Over hundreds of thousands of years, the nations of this world have gone through trials and tribulations. However, we can see that these trials and tribulations are only emphasized when it is larger cities that are at risk, which leaves many other smaller cities and communities, such as Thessaloniki, Greece, alone and in the dark. Many people cease to realize that small communities and towns are affected either just as much or even more. Which is why it is imperative that we ask the question, how has the economic failure in Greece affected small towns and communities such as Thessaloniki, Greece? Violence is at an all-time high in Thessaloniki right now due to people staging riots and fights to protest against the government. So far, almost 20 deaths have been reported. However, this number continues to cultivate and grow as more and more riots end in either injuries or in death. Greece is currently in $315 billion of debt. Not only this, but a reporter from The Economist stated that as of now, almost every bank in Thessaloniki has been closed or will be closed in the near future due to a lack of money. This new wave of banks having nothing to give their people has influenced them to turn to things such as crime and violence in order to make ends meet and provide for those that they love and care about. Although everyone in Greece blames current Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras, who is responsible for the current situation, he claims that it is not in fact his fault at all. Tsipras puts the blame on creditors, and while speaking at the annual Thessaloniki Trade Fair, Tsipras blamed a spat between the EU and the International Monetary Fund for putting off badly needed private investors. In fact, he told reporters, "I would say that what is creating conditions of delay in regaining trust of markets and investors is the constant clash and disagreements between the IMF and European institutions." However, the citizens of Thessaloniki do not agree with this idea. In fact, what they say is that it is in fact Tsipras' fault, due to the fact that he is one of the most powerful leaders in their country, and he is responsible in doing all that he can to ensure that the citizens of his country live a loving and healthy life. Another major issue in Thessaloniki, Greece is the fact that people are now beginning to lose their jobs and their money. In fact, according to The Guardian, the salaries of state employees have been cut off by 25%. Pensions have fallen to 15%, and unemployment is likely to rise to 18% within the next year. This lack of jobs and money is actually leading people to become homeless, due to the fact that they can no longer pay for their homes and in turn are evicted and thrown out onto the streets. According to a study, 62% of homeless people in Thessaloniki have been either evicted from their homes or have filed for bankruptcy in the past year. The vast majority of these homeless people are male, and more than half of them are 35 to 55 years old. Not only this, but 71% of them have ended up on the streets within the past year. So after asking ourselves, how has the economic failure in Greece affected small towns and cities such as Thessaloniki, Greece? It's clear to see that the answer to this question is that it does not only just impact major cities, it impacts smaller communities as well, such as Thessaloniki, Greece. These communities are made up of hard-working people who don't deserve what is not only happening to them, but their families and their loved ones.